Get me? You got me? Good. All right, placing this to the side. All right, this print is called What About When You're Now Getting to Know God? What do you advise? Getting to know God. God lives within us. The Holy Spirit connects us to the all, to the consciousness. So, with my experience, when I would advise you to be by yourself when connecting to God, because it's like so many people, when we have so many things rubbing in our heads, only because we have so many things, on the outside, just blasting everywhere. It's like, we have to come to a place of silence our mind so we can hear the voice within, and get into a place of solitude. A lot of people go into a place of get into solitude, go into a hermit mode when they're seeking more spiritual development and knowing themselves, because God lives within you. So what makes you? God. It makes you God. It makes you goddess. It makes you connected to the all, to divine. Yes, there's one consciousness. Yes, there's a higher being, a higher consciousness. But we're all connected to that. And it's a beautiful thing to connect to that beautiful, beautiful consciousness, because it's all love, And I would say connecting to God is basically connecting to love. To me personally, when you connect to love, you're connecting to your godlike state. Love is the highest frequency. Love is the highest frequency. So when you're in your God state, you're in a Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is basically love. It's basically following the Holy Spirit that connects you to consciousness within. When Jesus, there's a story of Jesus. Everybody knows the story of Jesus. He was so in tune. And I would suggest going out into nature, going out and journeying, not outwardly, but also inwardly. You can also journey outwardly, because that's what, Jesus did. He went to temples and different places and studied all these things, you know what I'm saying? But it all came from within. It's within that guides us. It's the Holy Spirit, the GPS. God is the GPS, and the Holy Spirit connects us to God, which is us. So it's like when we're away from people, we're able to distinguish and discern our own thoughts from others' thoughts. So basically, and also self-love. Discovering God is also a journey of self-love, because it's like when you start to put yourself first and make sure you're doing good and you're great, then you just feel all godlike. You feel like nothing can stop you. Oh goodness. And then and this is where God resides for me. Like my heart chakra is where God resides for me. And it's a beautiful feeling. When you follow your heart, you're following love. And like I said, when it comes down to me, in my personal opinion, God is love. So, it feels so good, y'all. Okay, it feels so. I might just, cause look, I just feel like talking now. Like y'all got me in a talking boo. I might just put this to the side and just. But anyway, I'll just keep on going with the auction. My pleasure. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. How could I put you to the side? Oh, and knowing God is knowing thyself. Knowing God is knowing thyself. So what I mean by that is knowing your vessel, knowing your spirit, knowing your mind, knowing just inner knowing. When you have an inner knowing and you're connected to that consciousness, is called clear cognizance. If you have an inner knowing, you're just always like feeling like, all right, I don't feel too right when I do this. I don't feel too right when I do that. But it's like these nudges from God. It's nudges from the Holy Spirit. Like I remember one time I experienced some guy who came up to me out of nowhere on the street, because I was like, it was like late at night. I'm just sitting in the car. He was like, "Why are you in the car? You don't know, you're a beautiful black woman. You shouldn't be out on the streets like this." And he basically was saying that he was a prophet, came to talk to me. And I just needed someone to talk to. I really did need someone to talk to at that point, but I just was denying it. And I didn't want any help from him, because he just looked like somebody that was on the street to me. But that conversation really humbled me, and he basically was like, "See, you don't know who you are. You're powerful. You're beautiful. What you know, God lives in you, so what does that make you? I'm like, a goddess. He's like, what? I'm like, a goddess. He's like, what? He's like, a goddess. So he was like, you better talk like you know it, you know. And he saw me like nudge because I was like doing something, and he was like, look, God nudging you right now. And it literally felt like the Holy Spirit or whatever it was in me, like moving my body at that time. Like that happens sometimes. Like I just, whenever I'm filled with the spirit of love, I start to move, I start to groove, I start to do these things, like it just takes over. Or I'm just like, maybe I'm doing something nice for somebody and I just start doing something for them, and I just do something like this. It's just the goddess within and the God within us, like the Holy Spirit, we just follow that, and sometimes it moves us. And we have to just know our vessels. Is sometimes we just, when it comes down to something right and something wrong, our vessel will start to show us, and that just gave me chills as well. Oh, I'm glad it resonates with you. When you start to, this might just turn into another video. I'm not gonna lie. When you start to feel like God move within you, or love moves within you, like or if you start to feel something taking over, you will just know it. And also that happened to me one time when I started to dance. I wore a belly dancing outfit to a function, and they all asked me if I was going to dance. Automatically, I already knew the divine universe was like, you're gonna have to dance tonight, you're gonna have to show your moves. And I'm just like, but I'm not a dancer. But I am in spirit. I it's like spirit moves me to dance. So it's like, so all of a sudden I start hearing the drums go, and the drums pulled me out. It was like I'm not gonna say possessed, but it felt like it. I just felt like my body, and I just started going and going, like the ancestors came out through me too. Like I'm just going and going, and it was just like that. Sometimes spirit moves you because your magic, your body movement, your energy is needed in that moment, and is needed in that time. And divine consciousness is, you're a vessel. You're a vessel to be used by consciousness, by the greater all. Like you are a vessel of God. And if God moves you, you will be moved. So I'm not saying like God isn't you, because you are that. You are that. But it's just that sometimes we get, so into the flesh of things, so into the material of things, and start to become blind and fall back asleep to what we truly are. We're truly divine beings here. And we're truly, made to fill up our cup in balance, but also fill up our spiritual cup. Fill up our spiritual cup, because our material cup is kind of full. So let's fill up the spiritual cup too. Like let's sow seeds into this spirit, so we can be blessed abundantly. That's what I be doing. Like that's how I connect to God too. Like God be telling me I tell myself. Let me say this, because God is your voice. Is your voice. So if you're starting to hear a dark voice or a light voice, or a voice that's not of your own, in your own head, that's not the voice of God. God is going to sound like you, because you are God. You are. I am. What does that mean? I am. I am. Like, okay. So when the Holy Spirit talked to me, but you got to be discerning, because so does the devil, so does the lower consciousness talk into you in your voice, trying to make it seem like it's God, but it could be a whole nother thing, and lead you down a place of fear, in a path of fear. But like I was saying, like when you hear your voice talk to you about doing something, move. Do it, because that's, especially if you pray, if you affirm that you're being guided by angels, your ancestors, or by the Holy Spirit within, by God. If you're being moved by God, you better move, and the thing is, you have to be clear enough to hear it. Sometimes we have so much things going on in our minds. So when we come to a place of silence and meditation, we were able to hear. Okay, this is a whole nother video, guys. I might have to push this to tomorrow, to be honest with you, because I just started going in. So it's like when you're silent, you're able to hear the spirit that's within you. When you're silent in your mind, like, because so many people want to run your life, like saying what you to do, telling you what to do and everything, and that may not even come from you, may not even come from God, but you have to be discerning what does and what doesn't. Well, if it resonates with you and resonates with your heart, then it does. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I will wake up in the rising and God or myself or whatever you like to call it, the Holy Spirit or the universe will tell me to get something done, and I gotta get it done. If I get it done, I'm in alignment. Like, I'm in alignment. Things are happening. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's why I had to get it done, because now I'm prepared to get to this, prepared to do that, prepared to da-da-da. But if I don't get it done at a certain time, I'm not going to beat myself up. But at the same time, things are happening in divine order. Divine order. So, thank you, Natiti. I needed this. I've been seeking advice and information. And you come on, Seymour. Okay. My pleasure, okay? It's divine. It's this all the divine. Like I told my sister before, I couldn't even take credit for telling somebody about something, because it's like it wasn't me at that time. It was just like, tell that person, refer that person to this person so this can happen. And it was all love. When you act out of love, that's God. That's when you're connecting to God. When you act out of love, it's like, oh, I want to refer this person to this person because I want to see that person win. I want to see that person grow. I want to see that person evolve. I want to see that. It's like I want to see the beauty of love. That's love. So when you connect to love, you connect to God. That's how my personal opinion, my journey. Every time I connect to love, I'm connecting to God. Every time I feel like I feel I want to see somebody win, I want to see someone glow, flourish, evolve, and that's like seeing myself in them as well, because I love myself to see myself in you. So if I love myself and I see myself in you, I'm going to love you too, and vice versa. People who sit there and hate on people, they're only hating on themselves. They're only talking about themselves, and that's fear, because they fear to go down that road to heal that aspect of themselves. So they're going to continue to hate it in somebody else, but you really hitting in themselves. So it's like, the more I start to grow self-love, that's connecting to God. The more I start to love myself, that's connecting to God. And loving myself also comes with knowing myself, because, hey, I know that I'm beautiful without makeup, but I love doing makeup. I'm not going to let nobody tell me, I can get the facts about it, yes, but I'm not going to let anybody tell me, oh, you're doing makeup or you might be insecure. No, I'm not really insecure. It's just that I like art. Like, this is me. Like, I feel like I'm a goddess. Like, in my past lives, I wore makeup, like royal shit. Like, I'm not going to lie, and I'm pretty darned good at it. So I'm not going to let anybody make me feel some type of way about it. I love myself and I know myself. So there we go. How can I repair my aura? Repair your aura like it broke? No, it's like cleansing spiritual baths. I see nature. I see jumping in a whole lake and just clearing all that. Like, I see ecotherapy, going out into nature and being around trees and just breathing helps clean your aura. Hugging a tree helps clean your aura. It's just that if we're always in a cubicle or in a box, in a space, in a prison is like, is compacting. There's a lot of compacting. It's always going to stick on you if you don't sage yourself. You can sage yourself to clean your aura. You can take a spiritual bath, go to some voodoo witch doctor, or like somebody who does beautiful spiritual baths. I know a person that does that. Her beautiful name is Ashe Waters. I took my spiritual bath, and I do spiritual baths with her bath salts. So that's pretty great. If you want to go hit her up for her spiritual needs, then go ahead and do that. Just cleaning your aura. Also, you can meditate to clean your aura. You can imagine like a rim of white light around you, which I usually do, and or yellow, something very healing, and just calmly just feel your vibration just pick up as you're doing that. Thank you. My pleasure. Gotta come back and rewatch. But I'm gonna have to like cut it, cause this ain't no auction no more, guys. I feel like this ain't no auction no more. It's like, hey, like I haven't spoken to you guys in a while. How are you guys doing? You know what I'm saying? So basically, share this video if it resonates with you. I guess the topic of this video is connecting to God. Oh my God, I feel like crying. Sometimes when you just feel like your heart come alive, you just want to cry. You overwhelmed with these emotions. Like, I know when, that's one of the things. When I connect to God, when I connect to source, to my inner source, my being, my spirit that's within, because we get so wrapped up in the flesh and forget there's a spirit within. But there's a spirit within us. We are not this flesh. We are not this body. We are the spirit. And when we connect to the spirit and spirit be showing me things, I just be like, oh, like confirmation. I hear my own voice in my head, like, watch this, right? And then something happens and it's like, oh my gosh, that's so dope. Like, and I start like having emotions. Like, I start to laugh. Kid you not, I will start laughing like and then I start right, like a second later, like that's a confirmation for me too. Like, if it's dealing with something very spiritual. It's connecting to God is just getting to know yourself, okay? That is it. That is boom, bam, sugar lamb, eggs and ham, no ma'am. Okay, that's it. Connecting to God is getting to know yourself. And that's why you see on the temples, it says get to know thyself. It says know thyself. Because when you know who you are, you know that you are infinite. You know that this vessel can do so much more than the guy on TV. Or is it? Is it the movies that's on TV telling us things? Or, Harry Potter, The Darkest Minds, like just that kind of thing. So, getting to know God. And that is, sometimes we go on an external journey too. But it's not externally because it's all internal. So we go journeying out and we just come to like a conclusion that has all been within the whole time. You can't fix anything if you don't fix yourself within first. But, I do know that it takes a certain environment to really, really connect on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? Never seen an African black queen before. Ashe. Actually Jamaican. But so like, yeah, like to a retreat or a place that has so much nature around, because God lies in nature too. Like, it's everywhere. It's abundant source. Nature is more connected to source than we are because of the whole distraction we got going on, the phones, the televisions, the social events that just are meaningless, like those kind of things. And when you change your scenery, when you go out and just venture out, that kind of helps too, like because it's change. Give thanks, Desiree. Change is the only thing that's constant. So if you're not changing and growing, then it's time to start to. And getting to know God is like also releasing what we thought we knew and being open and receptive to what the universe has for us to know, or being open and receptive to the love of the universe, being open to releasing what we thought we knew about love, and being open and receptive to what love really is. That's getting to know God too, because God is love, like I said, and if we don't know what love is, keep saying that, oh, I love you, and we actually don't know that our love is kind of like a narcissistic love or ego-driven love, we can't ever connect to God like that. So we have to unlearn and relearn, deprogram and reprogram. That's dope. I just came out of nowhere with that like I was like but I started going So with that being said, I have these prints. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this video just be that. I'm going to put in I'm gonna make a post saying I got these prints for $10. Alright? Because actually I have somewhere to be and somewhere to go. So right now I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna say I have these prints for $10. Only today can you cop them for $10. Okay? Usually they're $33, but I just let it go for $10. And also I'm just gonna continue to work on these portraits so they can come bigger and better for you guys. The live auction, I don't know, something's telling me like, yo, save it for tomorrow. Maybe just do it later, you know what I'm saying? Like, because this just turned into a whole nother video. It literally did. So I love you guys. Peace, love, and light to you. I hope that you all are well. I hope that everything just resonated with you with this video. I'm just so happy and so grateful that this turned out how it needed to turn out. Divine, you never know what the divine has for you. So I love you. Peace, love, and light to you. Follow me on Instagram, nativity.the.gypsy. Follow me on YouTube. Go ahead and follow me on YouTube. What is it? YouTube Gypsy Lotus. Yes. And also like my pages, Gypsy Lotus, G Lotus Tarot, and G Lotus Artistry. I love you. Peace and blessings. Stay tuned for my next live option. And yeah, peace.